Welcome to The Late Show, everybody. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Hey. What a great crowd. Hey, anybody catch that World Series game last night? I've been told it's amazing. I didn't watch it. Because I was focused on something else. You see, it's almost Halloween. And this year is going to be super spooky for Donald Trump. Because Special Prosecutor and off-duty lurch Robert Mueller just announced the first indictment in the Russia investigation. And who's our first lucky winner? Why, it's former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort, seen here looking innocent before proven guilty. Now, I know it's almost Halloween, but it really feels more like Christmas. Paul Manafort, you're just the first of many. 5 years in jail. Shall I sing to the feds, Trump-a-pom-pom? think how much, just think. Just think how much better those jokes would have worked if it was actually Christmas right now.
Yeah, but you know, you go ahead again.
The charges were actually filed on Friday, but they gave Manafort until today to turn himself in. Wow, we white people really do get arrested differently. They might as well have sent him a formal invitation. Robert Mueller requests the pleasure of your company in federal court. Please check 1, chicken, fish, or squeal on Donald Trump. Now, Manafort's been charged with 12 counts, including conspiracy to launder money, tax fraud, and conspiracy against the United States. What's that crime usually called again? I can't remember for some treason. According to the indictment, Manafort worked as an unregistered agent of the government of Ukraine and took in tens of millions of dollars, which he apparently spent on luxury items, including 3 Range Rovers and $849,000 at a men's clothing store. It makes sense. Yeah. It's not cheap to look like you're starring in a middle school production of Guys and Dolls. Apparently, Manafort also spent $934,000 on antique rugs, which explains why he used his one phone call for 800-588-2300 Empire. And rug, please. Now, he's under house arrest, again, white people, and prosecutors think he might be a flight risk. The evidence? They've asked that Manafort's bail be set at $10 million. That is a lot of rugs. You better hope one of them can fly. Of course, Manafort's arrest was a big topic of conversation in today's press briefing with White House press secretary and heir to the Huckabee fortune, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who said, we're all missing the real story.
Today's announcement has nothing to do with the president, has nothing to do with the president's campaign or campaign activity. The real collusion scandal, as we've said several times before, has everything to do with the Clinton campaign, Fusion GPS, and Russia.
My God, of course! Hillary Clinton colluded with Russia to lose the election. But we never saw it because we were playing checkers while she was playing three-dimensional lose the election. Now, while we're on the subject, ladies and gentlemen, remember how the Trump campaign swore over and over they never knew of any attempt to coordinate with Russia? Well, how do I put this? Fake news. Because today, we also learned about an FBI investigation into former Trump foreign policy advisor and groomsman offering you ecstasy at the ceremony, George Papadopoulos. It turns out Papadopoulos pleaded guilty to lying to FBI agents in the Mueller probe, and the details of what Papadopoulos lied about are Papadopoulos. While working to elect Donald Trump, he repeatedly tried to arrange a meeting between the Trump campaign and Russian government officials. You can't do that. That's Don Jr.'s job. He's going to get jealous. According to the indictment, Papadopoulos lied to the FBI about his meetings with Russian connections, such as a female Russian national described by Papadopoulos as Putin's niece, and a mysterious academic identified only as the professor. Now, we don't have all the details yet. But I am guessing he met the professor in the conservatory with a candlestick. And when the Putin niece in question was told about a potential meeting between the Trump campaign and Russia, she responded, "We are all very excited by the possibility of a good relationship with Mr. Trump." Ma'am, you're not the first Eastern European woman who had high hopes for a good relationship with Mr. Trump. But why? Why did Papadopoulos try to set up these meetings? Because the professor told him about the Russians possessing dirt on then-candidate Hillary Clinton in the form of, quote, thousands of emails. Okay, so we're supposed to believe that Trump wanted Russia to help with the emails? I mean, does that even pass the smell test?
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
I hope this covers bull. And this could just be the beginning of the bad news for Trump, because this plea deal means that Papadopoulos has agreed to cooperate with the Mueller investigation. Oh. I'm so excited, I think I just popped Adopoulos. Oh, yeah, I see what that's about. Here's the deal. We knew this was coming this morning. And all weekend, so did Donald Trump, because he was panic tweeting. Never seen such Republican anger and unity as I have concerning the lack of investigation on Clinton-made fake dossier. Now, $12 million, comma, ... The rare 4 dots and a comma. We are in uncharted punctuation waters. Soon his tweets will just be 8 semicolons, 2 ampersands, and an umlaut. Umlaut. Trump continued, ... The uranium to Russia deal, the 33,000 plus deleted emails, the Comey fix, and so much more. Instead, they look at phony Trump, Russia, comma, ... collusion, which doesn't exist. The Dems are using this terrible, and bad for our country, witch hunt for evil politics, but the R's, ... are now fighting back like never before. There is so much guilt by Democrats, Clinton, and now the facts are pouring out. Do something! There is something just so reassuringly presidential about screaming, "Do something," into the void. It really reminds me of President Roosevelt's address to Congress after Pearl Harbor.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. Someone do something!
Greatest generation. The greatest generation.